Bayern Munich have won 11 straight Bundesliga titles and have dominated German football for a generation. They have a huge financial advantage, and theoretically, there's little reason to believe that their monopoly should be under any threat. And yet, it is. At Christmas, in the 2023-24 season, a different team were top of the Bundesliga. Ironically, one often mocked for the nature of their failures. So, how has this happened? And could this be the year that Bayern lose? During the winter break, Bayer Leverkusen led the Bundesliga by 4 points and are unbeaten in all competitions. Can they hold on to their lead? Well, it would be a first. Leverkusen are yet to win the Bundesliga in the competition's history. They've not won a trophy of any sort since 1993 and are mockingly referred to as Neverkusen on account of the many trophy opportunities that they've squandered. But they are one of the strongest challengers Bayern have faced since their streak of titles began back in 2013. In the one head-to-head so far this season, Leverkusen and Bayern drew 2-2 in Munich in September, and Leverkusen were arguably the better side and unlucky not to win. In the month since, they have played the most attractive football in Germany and after 16 games had the best defensive record in the Bundesliga, conceding just 12 goals. But where did the improvement come from? Well, the upturn can be traced back to October 2022, when Xabi Alonso was appointed. Alonso was one of the great midfielders of his era. After his career finished, he was employed as a youth coach by Real Madrid and was in charge of Real Sociedad's B team for 3 years. Leverkusen is his first senior job, and the club that he joined were mired in the relegation zone upon his arrival. Leverkusen are unusual in enjoying an exemption from the 50+1 rule on account of their historic relationship with the Bayer pharmaceutical company. They are historically the German multinational's work team and are nicknamed Die Werkself, or Factory Football Club. They are still a wholly owned subsidiary of an organisation that reported €50 billion in income in 2022 and employs over 100,000 people worldwide. But in football terms, they lack Bayern's muscularity. Their transfer record is €32 million versus Bayern's 100 million. But they aren't a pauper or an underdog. And in addition to Alonso's arrival, another spur of improvement came from the transfer market. Ahead of the 23-24 season, they made key additions. Alonso inherited a team of potential. Odilon Cosino, Piero Incapi, and Edmund Tapsoba, flying wingback Jeremy Frimpong, and world-class number 10, Florian Wirtz. Leverkusen are traditionally considered a developer of talent, identifying or cultivating young players before selling them for profit. In 2020, they sold Kai Havertz to Chelsea. In 2021, Leon Bailey left for Aston Villa. 2 years later, Moussa Diaby followed Bailey to Villa Park. Sales would be made, new young players would arrive, and the cycle would repeat. In 2023, Leverkusen and Simon Rolfs, their managing director for sport, broke with tradition. Nigerian centre-forward Victor Boniface joined from Union Saint-Gilloise. At 22, he fit the traditional model, but the club also completed the free transfers of Alejandro Grimaldo, then 27, from Benfica, 30-year-old Jonas Hoffmann from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and 30-year-old Granit Xhaka from Arsenal. All were experienced international players. In an interview with the Athletic Stafford-Bloor in the summer of 2023, Rolfs described the moves as a way of altering the team's dressing room chemistry. And it was necessary too. In the semi-final of the previous season's Europa League, a technically superior Leverkusen allowed themselves to be emotionally unsettled by Jose Mourinho's Roma. The new signings, alongside players like Boniface, who added another source of goals, infused the team with a greater maturity that has served them well so far this season. On the pitch itself, Alonso's side play a 3-4-2-1 formation. Kosenau and Tapsoba play either side of German international Jonathan Tah, and in front of goalkeeper and captain Lucas Radecki. Xhaka operates as a number 6, usually alongside Ezequiel Palacios. Grimaldo and Frimpong are the wingbacks, and further forward, Wirtz and Hoffmann play behind Boniface. And as the autumn of 2023 turned to winter, Patrick Schick, who'd spent much of the past year injured, also came into the side. Now, the addition of Grimaldo has given the side an expert set-piece taker, but has allowed Alonso's side to adopt a more secure back four at times, allowing Frimpong, who is a naturally attacking player, to push much further forward, sometimes even being the team's most advanced player. Xhaka has added passing quality, as has Hoffmann, albeit further forward. Boniface, who was the top scorer in the 22-23 Europa League, scored 10 times from his first 15 starts, but showed that he could also receive the ball in deeper positions and use it creatively. Collectively, with Alonso's coaching empowering technical players, it makes Leverkusen versatile and dangerous. As data from Opta shows, they are excellent at retaining possession for long periods, but also at moving the ball effectively and using it to create shooting opportunities. Without the ball, while not an intense presser, they have still forced more high turnovers than any other Bundesliga side. And conversely, Bayern have been vulnerable. In May 2023, on the day they clinched their last title, it was publicly announced that CEO Oliver Kahn and board director of sport Hasan Salihamidzic would be leaving the club. Both have been replaced, but despite the summer signing of Harry Kane, a new record transfer in German football, and the addition of Kim Min-jae, the adapted power structures impacted the club's efficiency in the transfer market. The absence of a holding number 6 has weakened Thomas Tuchel's midfield. A failed last-minute attempt to sign Fulham's Joao Palhinha in the final hours of the summer transfer window captured the sense of a club not operating quite as they should. Bayern are expected to act swiftly in the winter market of 2024, but Leverkusen have so far profited. Still, there are clouds on the horizon. Leverkusen overperformed their open play expected goals, and opponents have underperformed their XG against them. And Alonso will do without players who are participating at the Africa Cup of Nations in January and February, including Boniface, Tapsoba and Kosinau, all of whom have been vital. Time will tell if they can hold on. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including David Ornstein, Daniel Taylor, Ollie Kay, Amy Lawrence and Rafa Honigstein. With the latest transfer news and insight on every Premier League football story that matters, theathletic.com puts you inside football. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.